Hi, this is Bruce Dickinson from Iron Maiden, and you're watching Heavy Consequence.
Now, I was going to mention, we here at Heavy Consequence named Senjutsu as the top metal album of 2021. What is it about Iron Maiden that more than 40 years into a legendary career, you guys are continuing to put out some of the strongest releases in heavy metal?
Um, well, um, first of all, we're all actually, we still have the capability of doing that, as in we can still play, and we're actually a lot better players now in many ways than we were 20 years ago, certainly 25 years ago, because we're not thinking quite so much down the same tram lines. Um, and because of that, it's enabled us to do an album like Senjutsu. And we've been kind of building to it for a while. I can't put my finger on exactly one aspect of the album that made things just click. Because that's not the way things are when you make a what is a really amazing record. And I think it is a really amazing record, by the way. I agree with you. Um, you have a vague awareness of it, that this might be good when you do it. So Number of the Beast, when we did that album, that is also a kind of fairly popular album. Um, we all had a vague awareness that, wow, this feels like it's something special. As indeed it was. But exactly why, it was hard to put your finger on. It was maybe it's people's mental state. You know, they were relaxed and confident and having a great time and just enjoying doing the music. It wasn't like a chore that we had to go and do this thing. Apart from Nick, he complained. He said, "Oh, I don't know what we're doing here. Oh, you know, I should be at home playing golf." You know, and as luck would have it, it was the last thing we did, because suddenly the world went mad after we recorded it, and was like, oh my God, there's going to be no more touring for this year or next year. And I mean, it just went on, you know, the craziness. So it was pure good fortune that we recorded it when we did. And perhaps because we were so relaxed and we couldn't see in our crystal ball what was coming up. And we knew that we had to sit on the album no matter what happened, because no point putting it out until after we'd done the Legacy tour. So everybody was very relaxed about not taking a copy home. They were like, yeah, we'll get round to that. It's going to be a couple of years before we play anything from this album, and we can. And then all of a sudden the lockdown happened, and suddenly the album really was the world's best kept secret, because there was no incentive for it not to be, you know.
And from what I understand, are you planning on working on a new solo album soon?
Yeah, well, I've been working on it. It's the longest Shaggy Dog story in history, I think. I've been working on it on and off since Tyranny of Souls. But between lockdowns and albums and Maiden tours and everything else, it's like I'm looking for a clear space to actually nail it and say, okay, this is what it's going to be, and get Roy to put some backing tracks down, and then we can do it. So we're at the point now where we've already got, I don't know, anywhere between 50 and 70% of the material for the album. Depends what we pick from things we've already got. And I think we'd like to tweak it a little bit. So I've got some time. I've got 3 weeks after when I finish this in March. I've got 3 weeks in LA. So I'm going to be tweaking a few things with Roy, and we'll see where we get to. And if we get to the point where we can start putting backing tracks down, then I'll be off touring with Maiden, and he can be chipping away doing the backing tracks. And the technology exists now, of course, which didn't exist back in the day, to just get on a Zoom call with him and take a listen. So I think we were already going that way on Tyranny of Souls. So I mean, he actually sent me a CD of the backing tracks, just rough, no guitar solos, just rough. And I put a set of headphones on. I was in Japan on tour at the time, and I just walked the streets of Tokyo at like 9 in the morning with a notepad, mentally writing words and melodies, and then just flew back to LA and did the vocals. So and that worked out great. I mean, Tyranny of Soul is a great album.